Okay, we're going back to the New York people. Ezra. Ezra is one of the big Masmidim Yeshiva. We Benes Dorim, Emsa Seder, Mamish, Baruch Hashem. We're very happy to have him in Yeshiva. Yeah, it works? Okay, good enough. Are we good now? Close enough. Okay, so first of all, Shus, Mashkichim, Rabbeim, and yeah, Mashkichim, Rabbeim. And Deezy. I managed to translate it back into English from my native tongue of Yiddish. So if I switch back by accident, just let me know. So we start with the Chaburah Deshen is going to ask a shayla. Someone sent in a shayla. It was a maisa. They want to know what to do. So what happened? There was an 11-year-old boy, a katan, and he did an avera. He either cursed out his father or he said ate his sheker. And now he wants to know where should he go from now. So just a way that we can understand what's the case. So let's say we have an 11-year-old kid, goes to summer camp, really doesn't like his counselor, so he comes out in public, announces my counselor was a pedophile, ruins the counselor's life, doesn't get a shidduch, doesn't get a job, the guy's toast, wrecked. So now the kid grows up a little bit, matures, that wasn't so nice. So he wants to know, so now what do? Do I ask mechila, do I need to do tshuva, what do I do? So that's the shayla of Chaburah Deshen. Now we get to a Gemara on Kuf Yud Gimel and Beis and Kuf Yud Daled and Aleph, and there's a Maisa with Rav Yitzchak Bar Bisna and Rabbi Pedas. That Rav Yitzchak Bar Bisna, he lost the keys to the Beis Medrash on Shabbos, and so he didn't know what to do. The Beis Medrash was going to be locked. He didn't know exactly what to do, so he asked his Rabbi Pedas what to do. He said, "I have a Gevaldig Eitzah." He said, "Take all the little kids like these, have them play hide and go seek right around where he lost it." And then Mamela, what's going to happen is one of the kids is going to pick it up, and then he'll bring it back from Rosh Hashanah into Rosh Hashanah, and now we'll have the key. You can unlock it, and that's a good answer. So the Gemara then says, "Alma kasavar katan oichol nevelis, ein bezin metuvan hafrishay." When you see a katan doing an isser, bezin does not have to get involved. They don't have to stop the kid. Now the Gemara is going to go on for the next amud and a half and bring rayas back and forth. Is it ein metuvan? Yes, metuvan. So, and it comes out, we don't know. So the Gemara's question is, the suffix is, when Bezdin sees a katan doing something wrong, does Bezdin have the chiyuv to get up and stop the katan and make sure he doesn't do something wrong? Or let him go, have a good time? So that's the second child. Now the Mishnah Yaakov is going to bring us what looks like a stira in two Gemaras. When he's going to try to attempt to see, is a katan bechlal in the tzivoy of mitzvahs and yisurim, is that he part of the tzivoy? So the first Gemara is a Gemara earlier on in Yavamas, where he says there's a katan zar that's doing avodah on Shabbos. So there would be two isurim, one of a zar doing avodah and one of a doing avodah on Shabbos. So now, and he says, and now this katan gets shtei sa'ares on Shabbos. So the Gemara says he's gonna get both isurim. So in fact the Gemara, hold on, but we have this klal ein iser chalal iser. So how is it he's getting mechal Shabbos and zar doing avodah? So the Gemara answers because there was no pre-existing exister. There's no pre-existing isser. Therefore, it's not isser chal isser. Both isurim are going to be chal at the same exact time together. So the Gemara in Yevamos clearly says that the katan is not part of the tzivoy. He's not b'chal in the isser, and that's how they can both be activated together. Now the Gemara that's reading that seems to be sizer this is the Gemara in Sanhedrin. The Gemara in Sanhedrin is talking about a case where a behemo is ba ala katana. And now, one wants to bring a raya that you can kill a behemoth with just a ma'aseh tikalain, a disgraceful act. You can kill the behemoth even without a takala, without an actual isser there. So the raya is when a behemoth is bought on a katana, so you kill the behemoth, and we see there's only a tikal in there, there's only a disgraceful bad act. So the Gemara is doicha that by saying no, that really there is a takala, there is a maisa iser by the katana. So the Gemara in Sanhedrin clearly says that a katan and katana are considered part of the tivoi, and they would be considered a part of the tivoi of iser and mitzvah. So now we have a stira with our Gemara in Yevamis and Gemara in Sanhedrin. So the Mishkan Yaakov is going to try and answer all of our shilas with one yisoid from the stipler. The stipler says the yisoid, and the yisoid is in trying to figure out what is the reason that a katan would ever be putter from an iser. You see a katan sit down at McDonald's, orders a fat cheeseburger, he's just munching, and we know he's going to be totally putter. So, what's going on? So the first reason is the pasha way of learning is that a katan mechal is not part of the tivoi, like the Gemara in Yevamis was saying. But now what he's gonna come and he's gonna add a new tzad, the second tzad, which is that really no, a katan is a bar mitzvah. The katan does have a tzad to be aser. It's just that katan is just not roy mekabel einshim. Since he's not roy mekabel einshim, he's not in the parsha of einish, so then he's gonna be putter after. But originally the two zadim hours is the katan either not bechlal is considered in the parsha of iser, and that's why he's putter, or no, he does have an iser. There is a problem with what he did. He's just not going to be punished. So the Mishkan Yaakov is going to say that really it's not a steer between Gemaras, it's a machlokes tanaim. The Tana in Yevamis is going on that side that he's lav bar mitzvah. He's not included in the Isser B'chal, and that's why it says they can both be both Yisurim can be activated at the same time because there's no pre-existing Isser. The Tana in Sanhedrin, who says there is a takala, it's because there is a takala. The Ketana is not going to be punished because she's not a bar einshim, a bas einshim, but there is a takala, and that's why you're going to kill the animal. Now the Mishkan Yaakov also wants to be toila this onto the suffix of our Gemara on Kufyud Gimel and Kufyud Dalad that said katan echel milas einoi bezdin mitzvah nafishay oy mitzvah nafishay. That what's the machlekes? The tzad like Yevamis, like the Pashat way of learning the Gemara, of learning a katan why katan is pater, is that holding that bezdin einoi mitzvah nafishay. Why? Because the tzad Yevamis saying there is no isser. So therefore, if you're bezdin, so what are you getting involved in? He's not doing an Ezra, leave the kid alone. What's wrong? But the tzad in Sanhedrin who says he is a bar mitzvah, he's just not able to get punished. So there is an Isser, so it would be bezdin mitzvah nahafisha, you have to stop him from doing an Avera. So that's why bezdin would get involved, and that's how we're going to learn the machlekes of katan echel mitzvah and mitzvah nahafisha. Now, the Rashba is going to come in and say, okay, well, the Gemara is going to be doicha rayas back and forth, and doesn't come out with a maskana. So Rashba paskins, he says, at the end of the day, we have our maisa, we have Yitzchak bar Bislan and Rabbi Pedas, where the maisa, they went out and they send the kids to do it. So we paskin, katan echel mitzvah, einoi mitzvah nahafrishay. And that's what we're going to paskin locha in the Mishnah Berurah, Sivin Shin Mem Gimel, that's how he paskins also. Now, the Rashba in Nida is going to ask a question. He says, Einachanami, I understand why katan echel mitzvah, einoi mitzvah nahafrishay. Makes sense. He's not included in the Isser, so you don't stop him. But I have a new question. We know there's a din of chinuch. You have to teach a kid to do what Hashem wants. So now the Nida, and he says in the Gemara in Nida that it's mashma that einim mitzvah nafrisha is even when the kid's at age of bar chinuch. So for the Rashba, I don't understand something. Mitzad the Isser, then yeah, I understand that why the kid's not doing Isser, so einim mitzvah nafrisha. But we know there's a chinuch. So why don't we take the kid out because there's a mitzvah chinuch? So we can have two possible answers. One is like the Rambam, who's going to come out. He says that what is the mitzvah of chinuch? Who is the mitzvah of chinuch on? It's on the father. So the Gemara is not. So it's not a problem with einim mitzvah nafrisha because what's einim mitzvah nafrisha? Bezdin. It's katan echel nevelis bezdin einim nafrisha. If it would have said is the av mitzvah nafrisha, yeah, the av is because that's what chinuch's on. But bezdin doesn't have to get involved. That's why the Gemara is fine. Or we can answer. The Tosis Shanim in Yuma quotes Rabbi Eliezer Mimitz, who says that the mitzvah of chinuch is not shayach on a loisasei. It says mitzvah of chinuch is only on an essay, and therefore, what was our psak? It was a katan oichel nevelis. Now eating nevelis is a loisasei. So ain't mitzvah nafrisha. It's a loisasei. There's no chinuch. Let the kid go. There's no chinuch on a loisasei, so you let him eat, and that's why he's ain't mitzvah nafrisha. So now, through all this, the Chumas Hadeshin we're gonna bring back the Chumas Hadeshin, and the Chumas Hadeshin is gonna say he's gonna learn out. We paskind einay mitzvah nafrishay, and the reason we said that was because clearly he was not included in the Hazara. There was no isser by a katan, And therefore, when this kid said b'sheker that this guy he's a bad guy and ruining his life, so he never did an isser. He has nothing to be mechaper for. He doesn't need tshuva, and he doesn't have to say sorry. Too bad. He does mention, because of Kabbalistic reasons of a siman ra or a machshalis tachas yadai, he says maybe it's kedai, but the Chumash Hadeshen says that I'm no Kabbalist. Go ask Rav Feivish, your local Orthodox Kabbalist, what to do to get rid of the bad simani ra. Now, one last nafkamina to bring out in our two answers for the Rashba's question, where the Rashba asked, what about mitzvah chinuch? And we had our two answers. The Rambam saying mitzvah chinuch is only on the Av, and Rav Eliezer Mimetz, the Reim, who says it's mitzvah chinuch is only on an essay. So a halacha nafkamina we can bring out is, let's say I see a little kid who's a bar chinuch, and I see him going to steal something. So now there's a few things that could happen. If it's before, you see him on his way to the bank, you see him wearing with the ski mask, the money written on the bag. He's running in. He's about to make a heist. So if you hold like the Rambam, so the Rambam says chinuch is only on the Av. So if I'm the father, yeah, I got to stop him, make sure he doesn't steal. But if I'm a random bystander and I see him running to the store, kol hakavod, have a good time. Somebody's calling. So, but if I'm Rabbi Ezra Mimetz, then what do I say? And what do I say? I say the mitzvah. I say mitzvah chinuch is only on an essay, and the chara stealing is a lois essay. It says don't steal. That's so again, kol hakavod, have a good time. Now what happens if once he actually steals it, and I see him running the other direction with the money falling out of the bag like the Monopoly man? So now that he's running out, so according to Rav Eliezer Mimetz, now there's a new mitzvah's essay of Heishivas Exela. So now that's a mitzvah's essay, and chinuch is on the Welt, and it's not on only the Av. So now there's an essay, Heishivas Exela. I have to go in there and return the money. So I can let him walk right in, but the second he walks out with the money, I got to go bring it back. But according to the Rambam, holds it's only on the Av. So if I'm the father, yeah, I can't let him go in, and once I see him go in, I can't let him come out. But according to the Rambam, if I'm a random bystander and I see the kid go in, that's okay. I see the kid go out, that's okay. Go, have a good time. Lichtig en Chanukah.
Yeah.